Alright, we're heading into the garden to do some harvesting. We'll check in on our new transplants, like lettuce, flowers, herbs like that parsley. I think our cranberry hibiscus is about to start blooming here. Should be a special treat. Cool. There we go. Look at that. Cranberry hibiscus is about to start blooming. Should be gorgeous. Looks like we missed one flower. Very neat. Our lettuce is doing very well, which is awesome because one of my goals is to start growing all of my vegetables that I use raw, like for salads and smoothies. With all the recalls and commercial contamination, it seems extremely important at this point. So I'm pleased with this. This is parsley. For parsley, we're going to put in some celery today. And who's loving his cool weather? Collard from last year. Alright, let's grab these cucumbers. And over here, let's pick up some herbs. So I have some basil, including Italian, Thai, and holy basil. And back here I have some late season loofah trellised up into the mesquite tree. And a little bit more basil. And it looks like we found one of our tiny, compact varieties of butternut squash. And this is our Mexican lime tree. I'm keeping this one as a small fruit tree as well. I wait until they turn yellow to pick. And that's actually when limes are ripe and are nice and soft and really juicy at this stage and very flavorful. Alright, our pomegranates look pretty amazing. This one, we should be pretty close to time for them being ready. I'm seeing some cracking, so we'll try one. The trees are so beautiful. They're going to sleep, but they're gorgeous. I love this golden color. Alright, I'll add this to our basket. And here is curry tree. It's really bushed up since we trimmed back all those lanky growths probably about a month ago. Looks great. Now I am going to make a pea soup, and I would love to add some complexity with curry leaves. The flavor's super distinct and it's going to be awesome. And there's a lot here. I'm thinking pick some extra to sizzle as a side dish of greens, or maybe mix it with some of our other greens. Alright, just a sec. So here are our leaves, curry leaves, and then moringa pods. And when we go around the other side, we'll pick up more. These are very tasty, sauteed. And for greens to go with our curry leaf, let's put in some chard. This plant is over a year old. That's why I have nice big leaves straight away. I wasn't really stressing about getting the leaves from my small leaves from the raised garden bed. I knew I had these out here. We have a special treat back here. This is our Myra lemon tree, and they have finally ripe. Yes, they make lemon curd, and they also make a really good drink. Oh, there's more, and it looks like our mandarin managed to save this huge bunch. You can imagine it was hanging really, really low. I was starting to split the branch, but it's a small tree and I really wanted to hang on to these. So I have them supported by this large pot. And it looks like so far at least, it has worked. All right, let's go ahead and grab some lemons. Greens that we planted probably like a month ago. They're already taking off. We started these from seed, so it's always pleasing to see your seedlings take off. Lots of collards, a few different types. I always love getting the purple ones. Let's see, scented geranium across the back, and snapdragons, marigolds, and this is actually an older collard. I'm gonna go ahead and pick these leaves because it's a pretty established plant, well-established plant. Let's grab these to go in our green braise, our greens melody, it looks like. All right, and then we have our mystery squash down here. Oh, it's so heavy, still not ripe. That weight, I'm going to say, is pretty close. There's another moringa. And I always love this time of year because we have flowers, Mexican sunflowers, and white moringa flowers. How cool is that? Let's zoom in. Very pretty. All right, so here's our harvest. I think we did pretty good. Let's get these guys inside, cleaned up, and let's see here. I think we're gonna make some soup tonight. Sounds good. All right, let's head inside and see what we have growing that we can add to our basket. November 9th, today is the 21st. So that's way longer than usual. You can kind of see how mature these are. And let's see, what is this, sandwich blend? All right, let's get it. All right, tongs. I just rinsed these. Let's see how much we have. Oh man, cool. It's a lot. All right, I'm gonna break this up just so I can rinse it. Get all these little seeds out before I store. Rinse, dry, store in the fridge. Nice. That'll last a minute. These are actually robust enough to put warm food on. Just wilt them a tad. All right, yum yum. After rinsing, this is what they look like. So there's a lot of stringy roots and stuff in here, and it looks like some of the leaves were smushed, bruised, and therefore starting to be compromised. So this will probably go not in our compost, so I'm going to use this as a side dressing for some of my new container plants I'm going to be putting in tomorrow. So part of the reason I don't feel a need to try to keep these and go ahead and eat these is because I have a few other batches going, including these, so another hydroponic system. And these are bright green and super healthy looking and just fresher looking and more alive. So I'd rather eat these than these. I mean, why compromise? It's the whole point of growing your own stuff. You have choices. So I have these for fresh greens to eat raw, salad sandwiches. And I also have these, which I've already started eating. And they look great. These are pea microgreens in a soil setup. I always grow at least one tray of these. Right now I have two. Let's see. To supplement my outdoor greens, it's hard to grow a ton. Even though it's a cool season, it would take a lot of space to grow up all my greens because I like a lot and I juice. And right now, the food system's a little wonky. There's a lot of recalls on fresh foods. And if you're juicing and doing a lot of raw food and salads, that's kind of scary. So I like growing my own. All right, look at that. No need to compromise and have those. But my plants, because these are actually just sprouted seeds, these will be super nutritious for my grow bags of greens I am planting tomorrow. All right. It's been a few days and we're checking in on our microgreens, in particular our pea microgreens growing under lights. And it looks like they have grown quite a bit since the last time we checked in on them, and they are ready for another round of soup. This tray looks perfect. And for a garnish and a little extra spice, we're going to take our hydroponic microgreens with. We are going to make a pea shoot and potato creamy soup. So our ingredients are obviously our luscious pea shoots. I also have onions chopped up, garlic, ginger, and I already boiled the potatoes so they don't have to cook a long time in the broth with our peas, muddling the flavor of the peas. And in the end, we will take everything off the heat and add oat milk. You can add whatever kind of milk you can't want to. I'm allergic to dairy, so oat milk for me. All right, so you can see I have already added the garlic and ginger first until it's aromatic, and then I add in our chopped onions. I let them sizzle and start to brown. This is all on medium-high heat. I cover briefly just to steam them and to soften. And then here are our peas. Just rinse them really quick. I only cut them down. I don't cut them all the way down to the dirt just because they will grow back, and I like to have them a couple of rounds of harvest from each grow. So I'm going to use quite a bit. Peas, like spinach, cooked down pretty small, and I want a lot in here. Let's check in on our onions, garlic, and ginger. We have our rinsed peas here. We're just going to cut them up into smaller bits to wilt in the pan. I cut them up because it's easier to blend. These little tendrils will turn into little ropes that are pretty hard for my immersion blender to break down. But if I cut them into these little about 1-inch sections, they'll break down a lot faster, and that way I won't have to overcook them in order to get it into a smooth consistency. So I'm doing about 2 to 3 handfuls of pea microgreens here. And at this point, the pan heat is at about medium low, because I don't want to scorch them. I like that green flavor that they have. Alright, after a few minutes, it's cooked down quite a bit. We can add in our boiled potatoes. They're already nice and soft. We're just going to mix everything together. Alright, now everything's blended. I'm going to go ahead and season. So I'm going to add black pepper. I usually add a little spice like cayenne pepper as well as red pepper flakes throughout the cooking process. And at this point, I'm going to add 2 to 3 cups of broth, depending on how liquidy you like your soup. Now this is broth that I made from leftover turkey, including the bones and everything. You just simmer for a really long time. It's pretty easy, very tasty. And stir it all together and bring to a boil. Well, now that it's cut down, it looks like we could fit a few more pea microgreens in there. So let's grab a couple more handfuls of shoots, and I'll go ahead and rinse them off and cut them up into small pieces and add them to our soup. And see if we can green it up a bit. Oh yeah, that's much better. So it's a bit warm, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my immersion blender to start chopping it up and helping it cool down. And then once it cools down, we'll add our milk for creaminess, even more creaminess. And that looks good. And we have our limes from our Mexican lime tree outside. Alright, this is what it looks like after you add your milk. It's starting to look creamy. It'll be nice and smooth. And I also made a red cabbage and potato soup, and I'm going to add our microgreens to this. And I'll put the recipes for both of these soups in the description. Alright, thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Happy gardening!